Hello and welcome, fellow digital soldiers, to True Reporting. It is the 29th of April, and on today's podcast, we will be covering memes to catch us up with what's been going on in the news, and also we'll be going over a Bloomberg article entitled, "The Satanic Temple Wins IRS Recognition as an Official House of Worship." Now, how sad is this? That they are trying to, they're winning and are normalizing evil and satanic worshiping, and they're normalizing it into everyday life, even being recognized by the IRS. Sad stuff, my friends. But before we get into this topic today, would you please go ahead and click the bell to get notifications so when I post to this channel, you'll be the first to know. Also, follow me on Twitter at True Reporting, and don't forget to leave a like. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. And with that being said, my friends, let's go ahead and hop into it. This is True Reporting. My friends, it's great to have you aboard. Let's go ahead and get into this article. This is True Reporting. So again, this is from Bloomberg, and it says Satanic Temple wins IRS recognition as an official house of worship. Came out 3 days ago. So we can see that they are actually trying to normalize it. Many Americans regard paying taxes as a necessary evil. If they want to worship Satan, now the IRS has officially given them a tax-exempt place to do so. The Internal Revenue Service has granted the same nonprofit status given to churches, synagogues, and mosques to the Satanic Temple, an organization in Salem, Massachusetts. Go figure, right? That calls itself America's first devil-worshipping church. It is now protected by federal laws in governing churches that operate as charities. In a statement this week announcing the status, the group called itself a non-theistic religious organization dedicated to satanic practice and the promotion of satanic rites. Based in a town that hosted the Salem witch trials in the 17th century, the statement added that the group, in quotes, understands the satanic figure as a symbol of man's inherent nature, representative of the internal rebel, enlightened inquiry, and personal freedom rather than a supernatural deity or being. Before the ruling, the IRS regarded the group as a religious organization, not as a full-fledged church with a place of worship. Churches are generally exempt from filing federal returns under the tax code, another way just to conserve money and steal from taxpayers. An IRS spokesman declined to comment. Public IRS data on tax-exempt organizations reflect that the Satanic Temple has church status. The move comes as some Republicans and Vice President Mike Pence have promised to roll back the Johnson Amendment and a 1954 Internal Revenue Code provision that prohibits tax-exempt groups, including churches, from endorsing or opposing political candidates or engaging in political activities. That call hasn't been included in an $11.3 billion IRS funding bill for fiscal year of 2020 that stalled over arguments about funding for President Donald Trump's border wall with Mexico. The Trump administration has criticized the IRS granting of nonprofit churches status to the Church of Scientology. Absolutely, it's gross. Last year in Little Rock, Arkansas, the Satanic Temple placed a statue of the goat-headed creature Baphomet at the state's capital to support voice support of the removal of the monument to the Ten Commandments. Human consciousness. Still, the temple mission appears to have some mainstream religious strains. The goals are, in quote, to encourage benevolence and empathy among all people, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense and justice, and be directed by the human conscience to undertake noble pursuits, guided by the individual will, the statement says. That sounds like so much of a broad spectrum of lies. It's all that is. Lucien Greaves, a co-founder of the church, said in the statement that the group's effort to seek tax-exempt status as a church was inspired by the efforts to repeal the Johnson Amendment. As the religious are increasingly gaining ground as a privileged class, we must ensure that this privilege is available to all, and that superstition doesn't gain exclusive rights over non-theistic religions, Reeves said. Reeves, whose phone number contains the number 666, didn't immediately respond to requests for comment. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and hop into some memes and catch us up with the news. This is from yesterday, and it's from Anonymous, and it says, the only way we can protect our country in the future is if those in the know have an open channel with the uninformed people. Not divulge everything, of course, certainly when speaking of matters of national security, but the people need to be at least kept abreast of how their tax dollars are being spent in some aspects. Like, for instance, what we just went over, the creation of a IRS recognized satanic church. Tax dollars are going to that, my friends. The media was to serve in this capacity, and we all know how that went. So now we have some people in the know, the military, that are made up of the people who bypass the media to get the message out. The military is not like three-letter agencies which are built on nepotism and relationships and Ivy League school recruits. You know, the kind of people who see themselves better than others. The military is comprised of all kinds of different citizens from all over the country. Therefore, they are the best suited to inform the people because they see themselves when they look out at the masses. A unified military and populace is the only way to prevent the errors of the past that led to an elite few who hold all the info and use it against the majority. We are just witnessing the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Dems might not like it, but it ain't illegal. Define the keystone. Moving forward, this was very interesting. This is from the president or emperor of Japan. And it says, yesterday's summit meeting, the 4-person dinner, and today's golf, as well as spending more than 10 hours with President Trump, the response to the North Korean problem, the economy, the G20 Osaka summit, and even the world situation, I was able to talk carefully about the challenges that, and what do these numbers mean? 4, 10, 20, DJT. Very interesting, my friends, and that's from Abby. 4, 10, 20. There you go. Just to correlate the numbers and what are the 4th, the 10th, and the 20th letter of the alphabet. DJT, Donald J. Trump. Very interesting. Recent dark tweet from the real dark judge. It says, curtains open. Most of the people inside the White House hate Pence and want Pence gone. Especially most of the people who work for Pence hate Pence. The walls have ears. The judges have friends inside the White House. Curtains closed. The real Donald J. Or I guess TRDJ, excuse me, the real dark judge. Plus. Maybe so. This is from C3, and it says, since Attorney General Barr ended Mueller's and Weissman's witch hunt, do you notice Trump is using damning words like coup, treason, and overthrow? Trump knew all along Trump knew all along what Obama and his minions were attempting. He just had to be patient. Now Trump will make them pay. You can almost feel it. I know I can. I hope you guys can too. Charlie Kirk says, I'm starting to believe the biggest challenge President Trump has to get reelected is Democrat voter fraud. Absolutely. And I believe this is going to come out too. How did the Democrats win the House? They won it by voter fraud. We all know voter fraud exists. It happens all the time. They're rigged machines. We got to get away from these digital machines that are able to be compromised. We definitely need a handwritten ballot is what we need, because the Democrats are using voter fraud, and that has to be a form of treason, my friends. That is so illegal and so wrong to rig an election, right? It's got to be treasonous. And last but not least, guys, let's go over this 72 seconds tweet. Life is a systematic chain of events. I love this tweet, by the way. Life is a systematic chain of events under your complete control. Every single decision you make profoundly affects the next. Trillions of decisions with no ending. The singularity, your event horizon. What he's saying there is that how you treat yourself and how you treat others definitely bleeds into reality. trillions of decisions with no ending. We are energy, and energy never dies, my friends. It never does. And we should all be kind and loving to one another every single day, because it does create a positive energy. I can promise you that. My friends, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at True Reporting, and don't forget to leave a like. You can donate to this channel by going to my PayPal or Patreon in the description box below, and always be aware of live call-in shows. We will be doing much more of those now that the stream is up and running. Friends, take care of one another, be kind and loving to one another, and we will talk to you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.